you ready to raise your game at Fork Union Military Academy? Sometimes described as the West Point of high schools, Fork Union is a leading college preparatory Christian boarding school for young men grounded in the structure of discipline of the traditional military academy model, and scholarships are available. Fork Union Military Academy's athletic program has produced hundreds of college and professional athletes, including 6 Olympians, 2 Heisman Trophy winners, and more than 120 NFL players. Fork Union Military Academy is a private school and is independent of any direct military affiliation or obligation. Schedule a tour and get started on your journey today by visiting forkunion.com. Fork Union Military Academy. Body, mind, spirit. It's the HoopWise Podcast from New England Basketball Journal. Comprehensive look at the basketball landscape in New England, tracking prospects, recruiting, college, and more with your hosts, Steve Hewitt and Ethan Fuller.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the HoopWise Podcast, part of New England Basketball Journal. Ethan Fuller back here with Steve Hewitt as always. It's been a little bit since we were in the studio. We had so much postseason basketball going on, but
feels good.
Yeah, we're here to catch up because we got a whole new season that we're covering.
Never stops.
Yeah, back on the AAU trail. We both just came from our first in-person weekend coverage. I was at the New England Spring Showdown in Hanover. You were at the NERR Northeast Hoops Festival at Dana Barros. Fun, productive weekends for both of us. We've already written up our standouts, so you can check those out. We basically just want to use this episode as a quick catch-up, kind of lay out how we approach the AAU season and what we like about it, talk about some players that we're excited to see, partially off of our observations so far, partially off of our AAU breakout stories that we've written. So yeah, just kind of a quick, easy conversation to get you hyped for AAU. Steve, how's your weekend? How are you doing?
We're doing good. It feels good. Like the weather's nice, and it's just like it just feels like it's AAU time, right?
Yes, yeah, it does.
No, fun weekend down at Dana Barros Basketball Club in Stoughton. The event, I think there was like 12 to 15 different sites for this tournament.
Mine had a bunch too.
Yeah,
but 12 to 15.
There was a lot at Starland too, which I still haven't been to. I need to make a trip to Starland this year.
It's solid.
But no, it was fun. Like I wrote about this. It's like it was like a rare opportunity to see all of the best AAU teams in one building. We don't really get to see this. I think there might be another event maybe later in the spring that brought like the ABC, Middlesex Magic, Expressions, Mass Rivals, like all the best prospects in New England under one building. We got this Team New England, a bunch of like matchups we rarely get to see. Like we got to see BABC, Middlesex Magic, 16U game, Rivals against Magic, 17U game. Like we don't get to see those matchups very often. It's pretty simple. So good opportunity to see them go out, play locally before they go out on their own circuits. Like obviously all these teams are on like Expressions on Nike, BABC, Rivals, Adidas, Magic, UAA. So they'll go off on their own trajectories and schedules throughout the spring and summer. So a good check-in to see where these teams stand. A lot of kind of new faces. We know AAU kind of there's a lot of movement with players switching teams. Like it's kind of hard to keep track. We don't really have rosters yet at this point of the spring, which is hard to keep track. But good to see a lot of the top prospects in one building.
Yeah,
unique opportunity.
Completely echo that. I think my event, the New England Spring Showdown, probably this one of only 2 where I'll get to see all of kind of the major circuit teams from New England at the same time. It's shaping up that the Atlantic City Showcase also will probably have a lot, which is good for me. But as far as I know right now, this is kind of the real big one. Again, not a live period event, but still AAU bragging rights, first tune-up of the season. Like it's a lot of fun. I always, you kind of alluded to this. I have multifaceted goals when I go to my first AAU weekend, which is 1, figure out where everyone's playing, because that can be hard sometimes.
Yeah.
Talk to a bunch of coaches and parents and see what like are the big discussion topics right now, so I can get some story ideas. Watch players, obviously, take photos, obviously. So I got a lot accomplished in this first weekend. It was really fun. One thing I think is really cool, and I don't know how it's like for you on the boys' side, but I really appreciate that so many of the girls I cover love to just watch other teams play on their downtime. Like if I were a student athlete and I had to play 2 games, like I probably would just want to leave after and like go get food somewhere and kind of be done with my day. But a lot of these girls will stay around to watch their prep school teammates or even watch like rival AAU programs. They know it's a good matchup just because they enjoy basketball that much and they love to kind of see what's going on. So I think that part of the community is really cool when you get to the AAU scene.
I see that a little bit on the boys' side. I'm kind of locked in on the games, but I can see kids sticking around because a lot of these kids, they might play on different AAU teams, but they play in the same prep schools and public schools during the winter, and they're close. Like I know for a fact they're like best friends that are playing like against each other in some of these games. So it's cool to see that community element as well, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. What do you think too? I think we kind of talked about this briefly before the episode. Watching AAU and evaluating in an AAU context is very different in a lot of ways from high school. For you, what are you most intrigued by generally when you go to these AAU events? And, we're writing standouts. We're looking at top players in different contexts. What do you think is most interesting as you go out and watch these games?
Yeah, I think I even mentioned this last year. It's fun to see these prospects kind of, like you said, in a different context, because I feel like many of them are coming from situations in their prep school seasons or what have you in the winter where maybe they're the star player or they have they're a go-to guy or what have you, but they come into these AAU settings and they almost have to fill like a specific role, right? They might not be getting all the shots. They might be coming off the bench. So that's intriguing for me too, because you can kind of see how some of these prospects perform it in that different lens of can they embrace accepting a role? Because to put it bluntly, like unless you're an outlier prospect like a Cooper Flagg or an AJ DeBansa, when you go off to college, wherever you end up in your college program, you're going to have to, especially as a freshman coming in, you're going to have to fill a specific role. Like you might have to, you're probably coming off the bench, right, as a freshman, depending on the situation and what level of college basketball you're playing. So in that sense, you can kind of see the value of like how would they fit in at the next level with that sort of stuff. I'm sure it's the same on the girls' side too.
Yeah, I'd say very similar. Like a lot of star players who are teaming up on some of these, especially like top circuit programs, and it is different. Like you don't get the play through mistakes a lot of times with your shot. You have to be looking to pass the teammates. The pace is so much higher in AAU, in my opinion. So a lot of the decisions really have to come faster. It also is different because you're not like being scouted. So you also, I think, in a different way, have an opportunity to showcase more because teams are not, and maybe in some cases, like you kind of have an understanding of the team you're going against, but teams aren't really planning to take away your strengths or stuff. So you can kind of showcase what you're best at in a lot of ways on the AAU circuit.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of different and pretty cool.
Yeah. And I think we've talked about some of the intangibles that I feel like maybe come up more during the AAU. I don't know, maybe that's not fair to say it comes up more.
It's different.
Yeah. It's a different context, like we've talked about, but like those intangibles of like, can you be a good teammate? Can you be a supportive team? Like that kind of stuff matters. We've talked to coaches about that.
Yeah. Can you play hard at 8 a.m. in the morning?
Right.
You traveled like 5 hours on a plane to go somewhere else. Like that's not easy to do.
When you're on your third game of the day, which that's probably a different discussion of the wear and tear that some of these kids go through during the spring and summer. And I wrote about that last year. When you're on your fifth game of the weekend, can you try to at least maybe bring the best effort you can in those situations? Like that stuff I think matters.
Yeah. So AAU definitely, as Steve's written about, as we know, it asks a lot from players, but it's also just a cool environment to watch people differently.
Yeah. And I wanted to mention too, like the context of like winning is like different too than the prep school season. And I think it goes hand in hand. Like the more, like I've talked to other AAU coaches, like obviously they want to win their circuits and they want to have those bragging rights. So that's definitely important too, but it kind of goes hand in hand with your recruitment. Like if you're winning in these showcase weekends or at your circuit, and when you get to the live periods in July and you're going deep into those sneaker circuit tournaments and things like that, there are more eyes on you when you win. Right. And that's kind of the end goal of the spring and summer is like trying to get get plays, get as much recruitment, and you're trying to find a scholarship place. And if you're winning, you get into those bigger gyms. You have more college coaches watching you. You probably have more media exposure on you. You're just getting more attention. So
we can say that as media members. We will cover the team.
We will cover you if you win.
Yeah.
But if you're losing, where are you? You're probably like 8 a.m. in the back gym and no one's watching you, right? So it kind of goes hand in hand. Like, does winning matter? Yes, I think it directly correlates to recruitment and exposure. And we know, like, it's so hard to get exposure these days if you're a high school player seeking a scholarship, because it's just fewer opportunities. So can you bring those winning intangibles, those winning habits? That stuff will correlate.
Yeah,
at the end of the summer when we're in July.
Yeah. So we're gonna highlight. I think we each have 4 players that, again, kind of a mix between what we've seen so far and what we were excited to see initially when we posted our first kind of AAU breakout story. Just 4 players that we're intrigued by. Again, this is not in any sort of order. Prospect status doesn't really matter. Just players we think are going to, I don't know if breakout is even like the right word. Players that
have good springs, see their recruitment.
Yeah, there's going to be a leap taken in some respect with the players. So I'll let you start, Steve. We can kind of take.
Do you want to just go back and forth?
Yeah, we'll just go back and forth. Give me player, give me just thoughts on their game, kind of quick. We'll consider this maybe like a 2 or 3 minute elevator pitch for each of these players and what we know so far. So go ahead, take it wherever you want.
Yeah. I'm going to start with Declan Griffiths from Middlesex Magic. I've already written about him. We'll be probably writing more about him, as actually just talked to him the other night at their practice at Nobles, and we'll have a Q&A coming up next week or the week after pretty soon. So look out for that on basketballjournal.com. But 6'7" wing. We talked about the Middlesex Magic and some of the stock risers, like, at least since we've started this in 2024, we had Ryder Frost that year and Quinn Costello last year. Declan kind of fits that same kind of archetype of a big 6'7" long wing who can shoot. I'm excited because I didn't really get to see him too much at Avon Old Farms. That's a far drive for us, and hard to see a lot of Avon Old Farms games. And no, I'm excited about him. He's got maybe a little more athleticism than Ryder and Quinn in terms of just the pop and the burst. Like, he put down some insane dunks this weekend at NERR, and he's got the green light to shoot. He probably gives himself the green light whenever he has an open or even a window of opportunity to shoot it from the perimeter. But no, I'm looking forward to seeing his stock. I think he's probably next in line in terms of those stock risers that the Magic have had. And he had the Northwestern offer the other day, and we saw this happen with Quinn last year. He got that Big Ten offer. I forget who exactly it was, but it kind of went up from there. And but again, 6'7" shooter who playing with more physicality, and he's rebounding more, and he's doing a lot of things. I saw, you can read in my write-up, had some good passes too, some attacking closeouts and doing things like that. And I think keeping that consistency and doing those things, I think he's ready for a breakout spring for sure.
Yeah. I'll kind of stay with you. 27 class, someone that we think already has a solid amount of interest now, but we think will take a national leap in some respects. I'll go with Corinne Lomax. I think she was our prospect watch. I don't need to think about it. She was our prospect watch player for the postseason champions magazine at Tabor. She plays for Mass Rivals right now. 6-foot wing. Just like, I think I've said it probably 7 or 8 times at this point. Plays like a running back with how she just kind of explodes through driving lanes, is really unstoppable in the open floor, finishes around the basket so well. She can touch rim pretty easily. Dominant on the boards too. She averaged approximately 15 and 10 at Tabor in what was really a breakout junior season for her. She has a couple of high majors offers already. Miami, Rutgers, NC State are among those. I think she will get nationally ranked at some point this year. I know that the major services, like, they still need to expand from 60 to 100. So it makes sense that they've been a little more selective. I'm going to guess that she appears on there. She's our second ranked prospect in the 2027 class, and she's very, very, very good. Even I only watched Rivals play once because they only played on Sunday, and I watched them play in a tough loss to a United New Jersey team this past weekend. She's still like, it's just a different caliber of athlete than like anyone else that you're going to see on the floor, at least regionally. She can block shots, very good defender. And again, like the motor is really cool to watch. Like she is not going to be denied rebounds and shots at the rim and that sort of stuff. So definitely everyone here probably has Corinne Lomax on their radars already, but the national folks are going to have them on their radars soon.
Yeah.
Too.
We'll keep going. Another boy in the 2027 class. I should have said, you reminded me with the rankings. I had Declan at 9 in my first 2027 ranking.
Okay.
Not to give away our full rankings. And the next player I have is Grayson Pierce, who I have at number 8 in our 2027 rankings. 6'7" or 6'8". I'm not sure. We're splitting hairs there, but 6'7", 6'8" forward for BABC. He's already one of the best shooters in the 2027 class in New England. But looking for him to be a little more consistent, maybe in some other areas. Defensively, he's probably going to be one of BABC's bigger players. So embracing being more comfortable as a switchable defender, maybe playing some 5 at times, like kind of like what Alex Iguanu did last year for the BABC team, maybe provide some rim protection. I'm not sure what they have in store for a role for him, but be a consistent, more consistent rebounding threat, rebounding out of his area. I saw a little bit of that this weekend at NERR. And then attacking closeouts when teams try to run him off the line, and kind of processing the game too. I know that's one thing that the coaching staff at St. Thomas More is also looking for him to improve on. He's one of the hardest workers in the gym. I was at a BABC practice a few weeks ago, and they were telling me how he wakes up early, and he lives in Connecticut, and he's making these long drives out to Boston for practice. Wow. And everything. And so he's committed to the work and his craft, and I'm excited to see where he can go the next few months. I think he has one offer from last summer that he's posted, at least from Albany. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited to see where he can go from there.
Yeah. I think I'm going to mention this with one of my other players too. I think one of my biggest biases in evaluating is I love players who know how to attack closeout and make a play out of it. I just think once you have that space open and you can take advantage of it and continue to keep the advantage by passing to someone, or if you score it yourself, I think that's such a huge, huge thing, especially with the way that basketball is played today. So I think it's cool that you say that about Grayson. I know you also, I remember during the season he was hurt, but he came back late and was very impactful for St. Thomas More down the stretch, right?
Yeah. I want to say he missed, I forget, I don't have the notes in front of me, maybe 1 or 2 months. He missed a lot of the season. I forget what the exact injury was, but yeah, he came back. They didn't have the showing in March that they wanted, but he was definitely impactful on both ends, as you mentioned. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'll give you my last 27 person. This is someone who was not on my breakouts list, and I made a mistake because she's gonna do so well this spring and summer. Paola Canute. I apologize if I'm mispronouncing that. She's from France. She played for Putnam Science, which for us, it's a little challenging because Putnam Science is not a NEPSAC school. I would ballpark them as roughly like a top 10 to 12 New England program. So on par with a lot of pretty good NEPSAC programs, but again, like they don't compete in the playoffs, so we don't see them as much. Yeah. And this was her first year here, and she's an international player, so I didn't know anything about her. She had a pretty good year at Putnam Science. I watched her on, I believe, Elite's 2027 Power 24 team. First of all, that team is really good. The best game that I watched this past weekend was against the Bay State Jaguars Under Armour top team, which I already knew that team was nasty. I believe Elite was also nasty. That was a great game. It came down to the last like 30 seconds or so, and the Jags won by 1. Paola Canute is unbelievable. She's the only player at this weekend, so pretty small pool of players, who has the physical profile to match Ella Pieper, where like legitimate, not only like legitimate 6'3" and long wing, is super fast for her size. Like this isn't a 6'3" center who's trying to handle the ball and like say that she can be a wing. She's actually a wing. She's blazing fast in the open floor. She attacked these driving lanes really hard. She hit a couple of corner threes, which I didn't really know how good of a shooter she was. So at least that's intriguing to me. She's still very kind of up and down with her general skill level with the ball and in the half court. She's definitely a much better transition player right now. And I will say, I am by no means putting her on the same prospect pedestal as Ella Pieper. I'm just saying like physical profile, size, speed combination. She's the only one who can kind of stick with her and like guard those kind of moves. But still, that alone, she's definitely a Division I player. I don't know what her offer situation is. It will go up after these first couple live periods. She's going to get some college interest. I believe second unit with her was arguably better than their first unit in this game that I watched. And that's no shade to the first unit. I just think they're actually, 10 deep and really good. So definitely put her on your radar. If you didn't happen to see Putnam Science this year, she's incredible and definitely someone you should know.
I love it.
Then we have 28s next.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
We want to get into maybe some of the underclassmen that have a couple more years, but we're excited about. I'm going to keep it with BABC with Ouija Dak in the 2028 class. Have you been able to see him at all?
I don't know if I've seen him as a person because we did the Tilton shoot. I have not seen him play.
That's right. We were up at Tilton. 6'4" guard, like I said, BABC in Tilton. Powerful, like just an insane, relentless motor. Puts constant pressure in the paint, draws fouls, plays with a ton of physicality, offensive rebounds. Like I said, gets to the free throw line. He showed some athleticism this weekend. It was one of the first plays of the game. Might have been the first play of the game where he put down this crazy one-handed poster on somebody. I was watching the BABC Magic game, which was keep going on now. The double overtime thriller, some officiating. We won't get into that.
Okay, fine.
I don't get anyone in trouble here. But Ouija was terrific in that game. Like I said, he's powerful inside, but he also showed like some finesse and with some step back shots and some 3-pointers. He's expanding his range a little bit. I was watching with one coach. I wrote this. Who
I saw this. This really surprised me.
Who said he's got maybe a little bit of Alex Agbuenu in his game. Obviously, I want to say probably 2 or 3 inches shorter than Alex, but I could see it just with the combination of like strength and power, but the ability to step out and make plays on the perimeter too. I can see that a little bit. I can see that comparison.
That's cool.
So he'll be one of the top dogs on that BABC 16 team. Ouija Dak.
Yeah, keep an eye out for Tilton too.
Bedford, New Hampshire.
Yeah, because Tilton too, like they're on track to have like a step up next year, right?
Yeah, and we have I didn't mention him, but Sam Owusu, who's out for a lot of the year with injury. He's back. I think he's going to be really good for BABC 17s this year. Well, Jakari Innocent's also on that 16 team for BABC. That also a Tilton guard I really like. And they're adding some pieces. I had a good conversation with Marcus O'Neill over the weekend too.
Okay,
that they're excited about year 2 up there, which is really like year 15.
Yeah, part 2, year 2 of part 2.
Year 2, yeah. Chapter 2, episode 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's exciting. I'll start my 2028 breakout. Again, this is someone who at least I've seen 3 offers. Maybe she has some more, but she has 3 offers. BC's among them. I think again she will take a leap to more significant national interest, and that is Hillary Simo. I think her last name's Simo. It might be Simo, but Simo at Newman. She is a 6'4", very strong center already.
Oh,
that archetype coveted by colleges, as we know. I would argue, and I don't know if I could put her at exactly number 1, but she would be in the top tier of the most impressive year-over-year growth that I've seen from any player in the last year. She was definitely a reserve on Newman 2 years ago, and I think struggled with the conditioning and obviously like had a lot of skill development to do. And I believe if I had this right, it was her first year in the United States. She's from Cameroon. Year 2, totally different. I think she was one of the 3 best players on that team. averaged nearly a double-double, has this kind of go-to spin move that she can get to now. Her touch around the rim is really good. She's a pretty good defender. Obviously, like with a lot of centers, got to work on foul trouble and that sort of stuff. Conditioning was way better. She competes really hard. You could kind of see the emotion coming out a little bit more. I think she can shoot. And I'm only basing this off of eye test with free throws and the shot form. It looks not too bad. I haven't seen her take many threes or like really attempt a lot of mid-range jumpers even, but I think there's some potential there. Obviously that would unlock a whole nother kind of development ceiling level for her. But just if she's like a solid center who plays strong, finishes well around the basket, hits the occasional mid-range jumper, plays good defense, has the size that she has, and she can run the floor, that's a power 4 center right there. So I'm really interested to see how her spring and summer goes. I believe she was hurt this weekend. She was around, didn't play. Hopefully it's not anything super serious and she can end up playing for the live period events. But she is like, again, I've mentioned a couple where it's like they have interest and they could take a leap. She would definitely be in that category for me.
Right. And then our final, we have one more each.
Yes, I have a 28. Would you rather me do 28 before you do 29?
Go for it.
Okay, so I'll wrap up my 28. This player, again, really interesting to me. To my knowledge, I don't think she has a Division I offer yet. I might be wrong. Again, a lot of this is me looking on social media and checking, so I might not be perfectly accurate. But one of the players who was a real surprise to me because it was her first year in New England, she's from New York, Jordan Elijah at Kimball Union, and she plays AAU. Sorry, I haven't been mentioning the AAU teams. Hillary Suimo played for the Bay State Jaguars. Jordan Elijah plays for New England Storm. She was playing on their 16U team mostly, and I think played a little bit on the 17U team this past weekend. 6'1" wing. When I watched her at KUA, I thought she was a great defender first. That was what I noticed. When I saw her this weekend, she's a much better shooter than I realized she was. Shot it very well over the weekend, primarily off the catch, but the form was pretty consistent. She looked pretty confident doing that. Great. Again, this is my bias for attacking closeouts. She was great at attacking closeouts, finished well around the basket, made a lot of really smart driving kicks out of that. And again, the size and length and defense primarily, and the fact that she's a much better shooter and sees the floor a lot better than I initially thought. Again, a lot of really great signs for where she could go as a prospect. Again, 28 class, plays at KUA New England Storm. So I would say, again, we kind of have the circuit teams and like the big 4 or 5 or 6 programs that you watch. New England Storm is probably a little bit under the radar in that respect. I think they're select 40 for select events. Keep an eye on her because she's very interesting. I want to watch more of her before I really have some sort of crazy take, but definitely intrigued by her. So that's 28s, and then you can wrap with a 29.
Yeah, I've got to wrap it up. Ty Arache, I think that's how you pronounce his last name. I could be mistaken. 6'4" guard from Mass Rivals and plays his prep school ball at St. Paul's. Had a really good freshman season for St. Paul's there in Class A. I'm really excited about it. I think I saw him last year at the Draft League. Shout out Draft League. He was playing in like whatever the upper division is called. I can't remember off the top of my head. I think it's called the Elite League. Saw him in that like championship game that I covered last year. Like I said, 6'4" guard, has a great feel for the game. He can create for himself. 3-level scorer. I saw him confidently shooting from 3, creating space for himself for pull-ups and getting to the rim. Defensively, he's super active. Saw him push the break a few times and find open players. So just has like a mature game at such a young age. I don't know exactly how old he is, but class of 29.
Yeah.
I think the future's super bright for him. I'd probably, like, if we were actually going to rank our 29 prospects, he'd probably be at least, I would say at least top 10, maybe top 5.
Wow, okay.
Like I'm really excited about him, and he's playing up with the 16U. Vin Pastore likes to do that. Get his younger, exciting prospects like Derek Swartz last year and Finn McCauley last year. Play him a year up and get him that experience, so that next year they'll be ready to maybe even make an impact on the 17s. But yeah, the next exciting prospect at a Lawrence, that we've gotten a lot of those over the last.
Lawrence is on fire.
Yeah, they're on fire. So remember the name Ty Arache from Mass Rivals.
It's a good one. I think we had a couple like quick shout outs as other players we mentioned. I will rifle through like 5 or so more names very quick. I'm not going to elaborate, but just players I was really impressed by over the weekend. CeCe McCausland-Emanuel is a class 2029 freshman on MCW Stars. That team, that 29 team, or the six, she's actually up on 16U. The 16U team that MCW has is very good. Another bias I have, passing bigs. Love a big who can pass. Shannon O'Leary deserves a shout out because I thought she was very good. I'll give Eva Zink, going back to the MCW Star as well, but Eva Zink was really, really good. She played up on the 17U top team for MCW. I've liked her for a while. I think she's very talented. Sarah Poland is super underrated on the Mass Huskies top team. Just very versatile, skilled, can do a bunch of different things, fit in a variety of roles. So I like her a lot. There's my ultra fast wrap up. I have a lot more standouts. Go on the site and read about them, but those are just a couple that I thought about too.
A few more shout outs for me. Antonio Pemberton, depending on how you view our rankings, the best or second best prospect in New England right now. He had a great weekend. I think he's already a high major guard. He could probably continue that trajectory. This year is just a dynamic scoring guard. You saw the highlights that I sent you.
Yep.
Just making difficult shots all over the place. He had a 30 point performance at one point this weekend. I think it was against the New York Rens. Philip Ndong from Middlesex Magic. He's creating a lot of buzz. He got moved up to the Magic 17s. 6'8" maybe.
Okay.
I had it somewhere. Forward who can shoot and growing into his body. I'm excited about him. He's at Newman. Josiah Adamson, we've talked a lot about him. Remember we had Kerry Harrer here,
right?
He was talking about how high majors are calling about him for expressions. Malachi Odugbala, sorry, 6'6" guard from BABC St. Andrews. I can see the confidence in his game is continuing to grow. I'm excited about him. There's a lot of buzz within the program there for him. And then Jabari Edmonds from Team New England had a great weekend, had a big performance against Expressions on Saturday. 6'5" guard who's just like relentless around the rim.
Yeah.
I'm excited about him.
Sweet. All right, there you go. That's your quick primer. We'll head now to Full Court Press with producer David Yas.
Full Court Press.
Welcome back once again to Full Court Press Trivia Edition, Trivia Throwdown Edition. This bitter rivalry between Ethan and Steve. Who won the last time?
Ethan did.
Oh.
He hasn't let me hear the end of it.
All right. Well,
that's right.
On a different podcast produced by Seamans Media, we recently revisited the 1986 Boston Red Sox on the occasion of the 40th anniversary. And per Steve Hewitt's invitation, I don't know if he was being serious or not, we will take up the 1986 world champion Boston Celtics. And I know it's the 85-86 Celtics. They will now be known as the 86 Celtics. Okay, so 3 questions for each player and a tiebreaker if necessary.
Okay.
There was a coin flip backstage, which never actually happened, and Ethan won. So
it's rigged.
No, I need this advantage. I need this advantage really badly.
Well, do you want to go first or defer to Hewitt?
No, I'll go first.
Okay. All right.
Pressure on himself.
Well-known member of the Boston Celtics, power forward Kevin McHale, appeared on this hit sitcom in 1990.
Oh my gosh. No, I actually think I know this. All right. Haven't watched it. Leaning either Seinfeld or Cheers. Steve's reaction makes me think it's Seinfeld, but that could be a red herring here. I will go Cheers.
Cheers is correct. Well done.
What did I do?
You laughed. So I know you're a Seinfeld fan, so I thought that
I wasn't laughing at that.
Okay.
You might know, even though you haven't watched the show, that Cheers took place in Boston.
Yes.
Hence it would make sense for a Celtic to be. Anyway, you got it right. I can't mock you.
Thanks.
Over to you, Hewitt. Who am I? In 1979, I hit the first three-pointer in NBA history. I won a ring as a player with the Celtics in 81 and as an assistant coach in 86.
Wow.
I later went on, I'll give you one more hint. I later went on to be head coach of the Boston Celtics. Seems like you should know it, right, Hewitt?
When was he the head
Ethan,
coach?
Ethan's
I don't know
not sure.
He went on to be the head coach?
Yeah, so to be clear, I don't want to make this confusing. We're talking about the 86 Celtics today. He was an assistant coach on that team. In later years, he would go on to be head coach of the Boston Celtics. And as a player, hit the first three-pointer in NBA history and won a ring with the Celtics in 81. He's a guard. You probably could have guessed that.
Is it Dennis Johnson?
No.
I don't think I'm going to get
I'm
it.
losing my mind. I should know this.
My guess is Vernon Maxwell, but I don't think that's right.
No,
Really not.
I'm trying to think
close.
of head coaches who are former.
Chris Ford. Ford.
That's a good one.
Okay.
All right.
That's a hard. That was harder.
I think that was hard. All right. Well, okay. We'll see. Ethan, this member of the. Now I'm going to switch things around here. Don't mind me. I'm just making it as fair as possible. Ethan, Larry Bird won the MVP in 1986. Was it his first, his second, or his third MVP?
Number 2 for sure.
Yeah, that's wrong.
Dang.
It was his third in a row, and those were those are the only 3 he won. But
I forgot it was 3 in a row.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, Hewitt, you got a chance to tie things up here. This member of the Boston Celtics was the second youngest player in Toronto Blue Jays history to hit a home run.
Dang.
At 20 years and 77 days.
Danny Ainge.
That's correct. Okay.
Good on.
We go into the final round, all nodded. That one to one. Let's see here. Wait, whose turn is it? Ethan. Who am I? A 2-time NBA All-Star, a small forward. I was an 8-year veteran with the Kansas City Chiefs when I joined the Celtics in 1982 and won 2 rings, including one in 1986.
2-time All-Star, small forward. You said that?
Yes, 2-time All-Star, small forward. Both All-Star appearances came as members of the not Chiefs, Kansas City. What were they called? The Kansas City Kings. Duh.
Oh,
sorry.
Okay.
That confused me.
Basketball. No, Kansas City Kings. They turned into somebody else at some point. I don't remember.
I don't know.
Oh, they moved to Sacramento, of course. What am I talking about? Okay. This is kind of a hard one.
I don't know if I know this one. They had to have come off the bench.
He did come off the bench, but he was a pretty key player.
I may have to pass. I don't know if I can. I can't just I don't know what I guess for you.
Scott Wedman.
Oh,
ever heard of Scott Wedman?
I have heard of him.
Okay.
Actually.
All right, Hewitt.
I would have guessed that.
This is your moment. I think it's a medium question. The suspense is killing me. I might as well give it to you. Here we go. Name the 2 members of the 1986 Boston Celtics who are no longer with us.
Bill Walton is one.
That's correct.
Uh,
This was actually part of the question. I should have said both of the players.
both of them are players.
Both are players, and both are NBA Hall of Famers, basketball Hall of Famers.
Dennis Johnson.
That's correct.
Well done. Well done.
Wow. The drama.
Yeah, that was good.
The tradition. Okay.
Wow.
A little extra spice
the
there.
crown is back where it belongs.
That was good. I can't even. I'm
happy. Yeah, that was clutch at the end. Came down to the wire. I'm sorry about the Scott Wedman question.
It's okay.
Hard, but
game recognized game. It's all right. It's good.
Glad you enjoyed it, guys. The rivalry will continue. It's it's at the end of the day, it's an honor just for you both to have competed. So well done.
That's right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks. That was good trivia. I just watched. We talked all about the Bill Simmons doc last year. I gotta go rewatch it, obviously.
Yes, watch it again.
All right. Hope you enjoyed the trivia. Hope you enjoyed the AAU primer. You'll see us out a good amount at some of these weekend showcases. We got some live period coming up. It's gonna be a fun spring and summer. I know Steve's excited too. So for Steve Hewitt, for producer David Yas, I'm Ethan Fuller. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.